Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CTRL Pro Tier. Tonight they are taking on the 4.318 kilometer. It has 10 corners and 3 DRS zones. It is the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. I am the Johnny Damon. Just give me 1 second here. I am the Johnny Damon, and I am your commentator tonight. We will go through the points after qualifying. I did get in a little bit late. We do have about 8 minutes to go, as we did see Harvey take over provisional pole on his previous lap. We got Barstool Benny MP2 at the 104.6 range, Rocketman 104.6 as well. And tonight we will be welcoming back trackside to the grid tonight. 104.8 in the Ferrari. Hope he is healed up and ready to roll. Shiesty is also on the grid tonight in the other Ferrari. MP5 with a 105.0. Tarzan 105.1 in sits in pit lane. jump on board with Swazi, who's currently not on a lap here. So let's find somebody that might be on a lap. It looks like Fred is. 73 thousandths up through sector 2 as he's making his way off a turn 8 in heading towards turn 9. And across the line. He's going to improve a little bit, but not enough to go up the grid. Raptor appears to be starting a lap off exit of turn 1. Opens up the DRS flap. He is going to be heading down this long straight up the hill into turn 3 here. Heavy on the brakes all the way down into second gear. Back on the power. Heading towards turn 4. He does have a Ferrari behind him. It looks like the Ferrari is getting a tow. That might be trackside here. GC Adventure has joined. Will be 18th car on the grid. But off the exit of 5 now into the double left-hander here of turn 6. Very long left-handers. Easy to lose. Oh, thanks, Gerardo. Welcome to Pro Tier. Glad to have you here. It's a great tier of F1 esports racing. These guys are very competitive in this tier as well. And he gets 200ths of a second improvement, but only stays in P16. It appears Natural does move up inside the top 5 with a 104.8, so a nice lap by him. As Shiesty is coming through sector 2, he does keep it within the track limits. Gonna ride on board with him here into the final 2 corners. Does have a car making a few mistakes in front of him. Is he gonna get a tow from him to the line? And indeed he does, across the line. Oh, okay. Well, oh, so this is GC Adventure, right? But Shiesty is going to be making his way up turn 3, no longer on a lap. He did not improve that previous lap. Rocket Man is on a lap, making his way through sector 2, 10th and a half up on his time. It is going to be enough to put him into the P2 position. He needs to find a little bit more time through the final 2 corners, and off the exit of the final corner really swings that car in there. And now he's going to make his way to the line, and he does improve 0.2 of a second, but not enough to leap himself onto the front row, or into P1. He is on the front row, however, but he is starting right next to that Sauber in P2. Less than a tenth off. He's about 95 thousandths of a second off. And Natural is not on a lap. Shiesty's going to dive into pit lane. A little crazy pit lane there. Styled Harmony coming through sector 2. Or already completed sector 2 into the penultimate corner. He's got one more corner to go. And unfortunately is going to invalidate. So let's see what the time is looking like across the line. A 104.5. So a 104.5 would have potentially put him, or that was a, or sorry, I was way off on that. 105.4 would have put him into the P12 position, so would have gained only 1 spot out of that, not a whole lot. Bong it, I am in the lobby. Appreciate the invite though. As we are watching Barstool Benny, is he going to take provisional pole? Indeed he does, with 3 minutes to go on the clock. At a 104.243. He got 3 minutes to go, and unfortunately that might be his last run of the qualifying session. Your top 8 still in pit lane. Bald Guy Racing out here, no longer on a lap. Styled Harmony here is currently not on a lap. Raptor is, but has unfortunately made a mistake and invalidated, so he is going to be trying to get back around the track. Although, if I was him, I'd turn off the hot lap. So So let's see who else. Looks like Harvey is just coming out of pit lane. There is McLaren. It appears to be Fred. Might be on a lap. He's making his way off the exit of turn 3. Going to open up the DRS flap heading into turn 4. Let me see if I can get a better... See if I can get a better track map here of the Red Bull Ring. I know turn 1's Niki Lauda corner. But the unfortunate part is, don't know all the corners, but we are going to be heading into the penultimate corner with this McLaren. As he is going to be getting ready to start a lap, but let's jump up to the front. Harvey here, heading into the final corner, riding on board with him. Right behind him going to be the Haas. I believe that will be Tarzan. On the way into Niki Lauda corner we go with Harvey all the way down into 4th gear. Really spins that car onto the exit curve. He opens up the DRS flap, burning as much ERS all the way down to about 50%, heading up through turn 2, now into the braking zone of the very tight hairpin of turn 3. Off the exit you go, opens up the DRS flap. He's going to make his run all the way down into turn 4. Going to be on the brakes at about 75 meters or so into 3rd gear. He's going to try and tuck it to the apex. Gets really loose and unfortunately is going to lose the car off the exit there. And that is going to be a heartbreak for Harvey to challenge for the pole position. Next on a lap is Tarzan. And he is previously 4/10 off of his time. Swazi is coming through sector 2 now. He is currently down on his time 2.5 tenths. So he's not going to be challenging for the pole position. Go behind him to his other teammate, that's Bongit. And Bongit's going to get really deep into turn 4. He now has this Red Bull, I believe, or the Racing Bull's coming right up behind him, Mr. Miller. 3/10 up in sector 2. Bongit is going to go through the grass. Half a second up now. He's down into the 104, sit provisionally. He is looking to leap himself into the top 5. Into the penultimate corner we go. Off the exit, and unfortunately will invalidate into the final corner. And that is going to be the end of it for Mr. Miller. That would have put him at a 104.7 into the P4 position. And that is very unfortunate for Mr. Miller. The next one across the line is going to be a Haas. That was peak hour. No improvement on him. It looks to be a McLaren coming up. This is going to be Harmony. Unfortunately invalidated. Bald guy racing, making his way through sector 2. Harvey, unfortunate qualifying mistake. 2/10 of an improvement. And he was able to get another lap in and takes your pole position away from Barstool Benny there, all the way down to the wire. That was a run for Harvey. I didn't even notice him being able to get another lap in, as Bald Guy Racing is going to come across the line. Patty Cake has joined the session just on time, maybe, not exactly sure. But that will be the end of it for your qualifying here at the Red Bull Ring. So at the end of the qualifying session, we have Harvey up at the top. P2 is Barstool Benny, Rocketman in 3rd, Trackside 4th, Natural 5th, Shiesty 6th, Comacopa 7th, Tarzan 8th, 9th, Mr. Miller, 10th, Bald Guy Racing, 11th, Swazi, 12th, DeBoonster 13th, Peak Hour, Fred in 14th. Harmony was not able to get a soft lap down in 15th. Raptor in 16th. Bongit, unfortunate for the soft lap as well, in 17th. And GC Adventure will round out the field. So, in the meantime, I have not gone over the standings yet. This is the standings as of previous Grand Prix at Qatar. You got Rockman up at top with 323, Swazi in second with 204, 192 for Natural in third, Comacopa fourth and 164. Fifth, Mr. Miller with 140. Sixth with peak hour at 137. Seventh, Bald Guy Racing at 134. Eighth, the Boonster at 133. Ninth, Raptor at 127. And rounding out your top 10 is Harvey at 104. 9 points behind him is Trackside. In 11th, Banya in 12th at 75. Barstool Benny's up there, Tarzan as well. And we will go on to the constructors. We have the Aston Martin with 456 in first, Red Bull in second with 319th, Mercedes 279, 255 for Alpine in fourth, 238 for the Saubers. In fifth, Haas in sixth with 182, 148 with the Racing Bulls in seventh, Ferrari in eighth with 114th, ninth, the Williams with 105, and rounding out 10th is the McLaren with 56 points. Alright. Should be getting rolling here shortly. Once again, we should be getting going here shortly. Everybody just finishing up with their setups. And we did just get the green light, so lights should be looking to go. And we got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are out and away we go. We're going to jump on board the Barstool Benny. He gets a great jump, but here comes Rocketman with a better jump around the outside. Already up into P2 through turn 1. We got some 3 wide action going on in the back. But everybody does make it through cleanly. As now we're heading up into turn 3. Bald Guy Racing being overtaken by the Boonster into... Oh, a big mistake it looks like from Bald Guy Racing, as he completely misses the braking point He is lucky. Ghosting is on because that was a complete blow through on the corner. He does get a 10-second penalty for that one. Mr. Miller down to the inside into Schlossgold of turn 4. Now he's going to continue through the inside heading into Roch of turn 6. Now around the outside of the Sauber, he's going to hang on, but the Sauber through the inside, and it looks like Bald Guy Racing going to be able to jump in front. However, he does get a kiss from Mr. Miller behind. Heading into the penultimate corner we go. As we make our way towards the line, Harvey is going to come through leading the first lap of the Grand Prix trackside up into P2 or P3. Let's check out the tires here. Yeah, let's jump on the tires here as we got some movement going on in the back. A mistake from 2 cars, and it looks like to be Bald Guy and Mr. Miller. That is very unfortunate. We got hard tires all the way, or medium tires for your top 5. Copa on a set of hard mediums behind. As Barstool Benny down to the inside of the Ferrari of trackside. He is going to overtake into the P3 position, and on his way they go towards turn 6. Jump a little bit further back, another spin. This is going to be from the Mercedes and the McLaren. The same engine power are having a little bit trouble with each other today. The Haas is going to go off through turn 6. GC Adventure is going to get through. Now into the penultimate corner. DRS is activated. So we are going to make a run towards turn 1. Barstool Benny has gotten the fastest lap. Top 4 all within DRS of each other. They make their way off the exit of Niki Lauda corner, and they're going to head up towards Venus of turn 3. And to the outside, Rocket Man goes side by side into the braking zone, and it looks like Copa into P5, and now Natural is going to be looking around the outside of Shiesty, still side by side, and it appears Natural is going to get through up into the P6 position. Let's get the tire graphic off the screen here as we're making our way through turn 6, now into turn 7 and 8. Worth curve, and it looks like Rocket Man goes a little wide there, and he is probably going to get a track limit warning there from the stewards as they're making their way through turn 10 of Red Bull Mobile and down the start finish straight to complete lap 3. Lap times are only about 1:06 right now. Down into turn 1 we go of Niki Lauda corner off the exit. Harvey does get the DRS awfully close to that rear diffuser. He is going to jump out well in advance of the braking zone, and he's back into the race lead. Natural and Copa battling it out as Natural's going to make it through. Shiesty loses 2 positions here. Must have made a mistake. Fred and Raptor side by side as Raptor overtakes into that P9 position. Shiesty has dropped down into P11. A lot of action so far going on through the opening laps of the Grand Prix. Styled Harmony and Bald Guy Racing both in pit lane as they're going to make their way off the exit of turn 1. And you do see Trackside has lost out, and oh no, what happened to Styled Harmony there? It appears it is going to bring out a virtual safety car. Was that in pit lane? I believe indeed that was. That's pretty crazy. As Harvey dives into pit lane early off the mediums, he is looking to go. Not exactly sure. Maybe looking for that early stop to not lose a whole lot of track position onto the hard tires. And hard back onto the race circuit. And so now we have only one DNF here after a hectic start to the Grand Prix. Hard comes back out in front of Fred. He's now going to have quite a bit of traffic in front of him. As eventually that virtual safety car will be going out. In the meantime, let's look at position changes here. Up 5 for Swazi, up 5 for Baboon Star, up 8 for Raptor. Harvey did pit from the lead. Fred and GC Adventure both up 7 and 4 And you get a couple drops all the way down at the bottom of the grid. And that is going to be a drive-through penalty for Comacopa, and it appears maybe Harvey got one as well. They're under that virtual safety car for getting back onto the power too early, and now they're going to have to serve that penalty. Comacopa has 3 laps to serve his drive-through. Harvey is going to go in to serve his drive-through. Alrighty, so he is going to be looking to get this out of the way on the set of hard tires. That way he's not losing too much. But they are back to green. Barstool Benny is going to be side by side with the race leader. Maybe a little bit of contact between the two in Remus. As now they're going to head down to Schlossgold. And we're still side by side. Neither one giving up. And Barstool Benny does use a little bit more ERS. He does have the DRS down into turn 4 as well. Comacopa overtakes Natural. Natural is going to be right up to that rear diffuser off the exit of turn 4. And now we got about 5 to 6 cars here, all making their run through turn 6 now of Worth Curb. I believe it's Worth. No, it's Rauch, and then Worth Curb, and then through turn 8, heading towards the penultimate corner of Rent. And it looks like that Mercedes is getting ready to pounce. It appears Comacopa is going to jump into pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty as he gets down into the pit speed. Swazi overtakes into turn 1, probably a track limit there through the turn 1 as he gets a little over the curb. He does not have DRS. Here comes Natural. Natural doesn't even have DRS either. And here comes the Booster looking up to the inside, and he's not going to be able to overtake. Bald Guy Racing is unfortunately a lap down behind in the Sauber, not really contending in this fight up front. Barstool Benny and Rocket Man, they're still fighting 3/10 of a second separating them as they're making their way through Rock, heading towards Worst Curve of turn 7. As there was a yellow flag for a minute there. The Boonster is still hanging on to the back of this little fight here for this P4 spot between the Mercedes, the Red Bull, and the Aston Martin. Down below, you got Bonyet chasing down Mr. Miller in the Racing Bulls. Off the exit of Red Bull Mobile we go. Down heading towards turn 1. Not very much action going to go on there. But heading up the hill through turn 2 into turn 3 of Remus. And Rocket Man's going to back out, not attempt to make a move. The Booster does get overtaken by Swazi. And here comes the Booster as well. I believe, no, this is Swazi here. As they're making their way off the exit of turn 3. Heading towards Schlossgold of turn 4. And now they're going to make their way towards Rock. The Boonster 2.5 tenths back. He is right up to that rear diffuser. However, they are actually chasing down trackside in front of them. Comacopa, he's about 3 seconds back there from Fred. He did start on the hard tires. Got a drive-through penalty there under the virtual safety car. So he has served it, and now he just gotten a 3-second time penalty there. As we're making our way through turn 1, jump up to the front. Natural trackside makes a big mistake through turn 1, and he's going to be dropping through now as Rocket Man and Barstool Benny's going to hold position. The Booster, and it looks like a little bit of front wing is missing. And that appears to be from the Aston Martin. He's missing both end plates now, as it appears that he got directly into the back of the Red Bull there going into Remus. And now he's going to have to box for that new front wing and get off of those medium tires as well. As you can see how much it affects him there through Sector 2. As he can barely keep it on the racetrack, and he gets a little loose through the gravel onto the curb. And it looks like he's going to be definitely wanting to head into pit lane. Or is he going to continue? No, he does go into pit lane. Rocket Man pulls right up to that rear diffuser of the Williams as we make our way off the Niki Lauda corner and now through turn 2, heading into the braking zone of Remus, and once again not attempting to make a move. He is just playing it patiently here, trackside back into P6, as the Boonster is currently losing a lot of time, was able to get that front wing replaced. But into the front, and it appears Rocket Man still just patiently waiting. He's got quite a bit of ERS. He could be doing this a few different ways. He could be a little underfueled, so he's attempting to save, or he is just playing patient, happy with the pace going on from the leader and what's going on behind him, so he's just going to continue to follow along. Harvey down to the inside of Bongit. Bongit did go a little defensive, but Harvey kind of juked him out, I guess you shall say, and he moves up inside the top 10 now on the hard tires, so he has made a pit stop. This is going to be a kind of an undercut for him. Medium tires were only on like 5 lap olds when Harvey decided to go into the pit, so Komakopa does overtake Fred into P7, so Komakopa is making his way through. Harvey does gain a time penalty as Swazi is now missing a front wing, and he's going to have to pit as well. And once again, up at the front of the field, Rocket Man and Barstool Benny just patiently playing out the game. Neither one of them actually has used much of the ERS. They're both sitting pretty high. Barstool Benny a little bit higher than Rocket Man. Back behind him, Komakopa trying to hold off Fred, but Fred's got Harvey breathing down their neck. Check about how far back they are from the leaders. They're about 23 seconds, so at this point Harvey has gotten the undercut if these guys do pit under green. I believe it's about 24 to 26 seconds, something like that. So Harvey still has quite a bit of work to do, but in the lobby. So just one moment, fellas. Let me just get back into this lobby. I apologize about getting booted out of the session there. As we are loading back in here, we will catch up with the action. I'll be able to tell you exactly where we were. We weren't too far. Pit stop was just down the road. And that's exactly where we are, right on lap 13. Didn't lose a whole lot of time here, as it appears Harvey has made it inside the top 5, so quite a bit of guys inside the top 10, about 4 positions in front of him have all decided to box. That is looking like natural Swazi, DeBoonster. I know Swazi and DeBoonster both had a front wing change, so that is going to be an overtake for position trackside. However, a half a second off the back of Raptor. Meanwhile, they're 20 seconds off the back of Barstool, Benning, and Rocket Man. Harvey 1.2 behind them, but he is charging. He's got about 50% ERS at this point in the Grand Prix. And Komakopa right behind him, 1.3. So it appears that Harvey is definitely on a charge. It does appear Tarzan has DNF under some conditions. Not exactly sure what it may have been. But it does not appear to bring out a safety car. Rocket Man comes back out. Here comes Harvey. Is Harvey going to be able to get the overtake? However, Harvey is under, or trackside is under tons of pressure from the Sauber. He is going to go to the inside. And trackside now looking for a double overtake down to the inside of Rocket Man. He does slot in behind the Aston Martin. Here comes Harvey though. Harvey is going to get a much better run off the exit of Remus. He does have the DRS. He does have the tow from the Aston Martin down into turn 4. Still side by side. A little bit of contact between the two cars. And trackside almost lost the car, just gathered it back under control. He is going to slot right back in behind the Red Bull of Raptor KK as they're making their way through turn 6. And no, trackside's going to keep it off the inside wall. Oh, that's very unfortunate for trackside. He was having such a good run as they make it their way through the penultimate corner of Rint into Red Bull Mobile. As now Harvey is within that second range of Rocket Man. But the question is, does Harvey have enough to really fight off these Aston Martins and the Williams when it comes to that point? The Williams did box and still came out well in advance of Rocket Man. So Barstool Benny is showing a little bit of pace. He has used some ERS there, however. And who is that unfortunately going around behind? That appears to be GC Adventure maybe. Mr. Miller making his way down into turn 4. Rocket Man and Harvey. Rocket Man around the outside of Roch into Worth Curve. And it appears it's going to be a virtual safety car and a 10-second penalty for collision between Miller and Bonget. And here we come out with a 10-second penalties for collisions. And that will bring out a safety car here. If I was Harvey, or virtual safety car, if I was Harvey, that would have been a perfect opportunity to take a pit stop and get off of those hard tires for the mediums to the end of the Grand Prix. You would have lost probably like 9 seconds less going in under pit stop. So unfortunate for the Sauber here. Barstool Benny in a drive-through penalty for Rocket Man. And a very unfortunate timing for the Aston Martin. Harvey has had one earlier in the Grand Prix under the virtual safety car. He managed to serve it. Now we got 3 cars in the pit lane, all probably for some wing changes or tires. But the Aston Martin of Rocket Man now has to do some damage control here in the Grand Prix, as he's going to be serving a drive-through penalty. Harvey here in P3 chasing on in the Sauber. He's going to take advantage of this drive-through penalty from the Aston Martin. That's going to give him a huge advantage now. Just hoping Barstool Benny doesn't make any mistakes, but the difference in tires here is massive. Probably about 10 laps or so. Let's just pull that up. Komakopa is yet to take a pit stop on these hard tires. He's the only one not to stop. He is going to go a little long. Actually, yeah, so about 10 lap difference in tires between Harvey and Barstool Benny. Komakopa on 16 lap old hard tires as well. So, oh, and Harvey actually got a drive-through penalty too. I didn't see that one. Very unfortunate for Harvey, so this is going to be his second drive-through penalty of the Grand Prix. So, Harvey's having a rough day. One mistake made into 2 mistakes, and now Barstool Benny's going to have about a 10-second advantage once Harvey decides to go in. But Komakopa still hasn't bought, so now you're looking at about 14 seconds all the way back to P4 of the Red Bull and Natural. So, Barstool Benny will just have to go mistake-free until the end of the Grand Prix. What? Oh, as Harvey dives into pit lane to serve that drive-through penalty. And that will be for him. Komakopa stays out on the circuit, and another lap for him. Harvey comes out right in front of Rocket Man. They are going to be side by side heading up to Remus. And it is going to be the Aston Martin around the outside, but the Sauber was thinking about sticking it down to the inside, however chose the wise decision to slot right in behind him as they're making their run actually down into turn 4. There is a DRS from for Harvey there down into turn 4 off the exit. Making our way towards Roch. Behind them, you got the Boomster and the Mercedes of Swazi. They're battling it out for that P6 position. We have quite a bit of track limits here, about 6 penalties of 3 seconds or more for track limit. Potentially, not exactly really sure, haven't looked at it too much. But I'm going to jump back up towards the closest battle. Yeah, it is going to be Harvey and Rocket Man as Harvey goes around the outside. It's actually kind of put him through the inside of turn 2. But into Remus corner we go. And it looks like the Sauber is going to overtake into that P3 or P4 position as they're working the DRS kind of wisely here between the two. To work on catching up to Natural here. As Natural is about 2.1 seconds down the road. Flozzy and Boomster still fighting it on behind in the P6 and P7 position. As it looks like the Boomster's not really pressing anything. Rocket Man with a 3-second time penalty. So now Harvey and Rocket Man will be battling for position here on the circuit. Comacopa dives into pit lane on lap 20 of 36, looking to get off those hard tires. And into the box he goes, onto the mediums, and back onto the circuit. He is looking to make his way. Just follow along with him, or keep an eye on him here, as he is going to be one of the only drivers inside the top 10 on a set of medium tires. In the meantime, Rocket Man goes back down to the inside of Harvey there into Remus, and kind of squeezed him out a little wide off the exit. It was clean hard racing down into turn 4, and now the Aston Martin back in front. Swazi and the Mercedes being chased down by the Boomster as we make our way into Roch corner of turn 6. And now through Worth Curve, very easy to lose it here. Also get track limits as well. We got 2 corners to go, and that will be the completion of lap 21. And Harvey gonna dive into pit lane. So yeah, he is gonna be looking to get off of these hard tires. Like I said, the virtual safety car should have been the time he worked on it. And Harvey retires from the session. Not exactly sure why. That's very unfortunate for the Sauber. As yeah, very unfortunate for him. Rocket Man here, now in P3. Is going to be about half a second off of Natural. He has caught up with them as they're making their way through Roch corner. And then heading now through turn 8 into Rent. As you see, Rocket Man within 7/10 of a second of Natural, kind of chasing him down, not really close enough to make a move into Remus. Going to be within a half a second heading towards turn 4. Comacopa does get the move on Shiesty up into P6. Now he's got about 11 seconds to make some ground up to the Boomster and gain 3 seconds as well. Trackside overtakes peak hour around the outside, but does make a mistake. So he is going to be looking to slot back behind. And Comacopa has gained about almost a full second on that previous lap and still has plenty of time to get inside the top 5. Natural does get Natural Barstool Benny, what happened there? Did he make a big mistake that cost him some time? Or that might have been his second stop. It dropped him down all the way within. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Let me check here. Yeah, that was his second stop. He's still your Grand Prix leader. Has enough pace up front on a fresh set of medium tires to do a 2-stop Grand Prix here. Not a big fan of the hard tires around the track personally. Trackside makes another mistake there in through Remus, as now he's going to drop down into P11. Swazi here making his way up through. Rocket Man pulls right up behind Natural, and he is going to be looking around the outside into turn 1. Don't think he is going to get the DRS, however he is going to be looking to defend off, burning that ERS. Here comes Natural in the rearview mirror, up the hill into Remus corner we go, and it looks like Rocket Man is going to be able to defend off. About a second and a half off the back now of Barstool Benny on a set of medium tires. Really only looking like a 5-6 lap difference between tires here. But Barstool is on a fresher set. As you can tell, he does get a much better run off of the exit of turn 4. Gonna jump on to Swazi here as he is putting pressure on the Aston Martin in front of him. You got 2 of them inside the top 5, so a good day for both of them. Comacopa making his way. He's trying to find as much time as he can. In through the start-finish straight, and Barstool Benny with the fastest lap of a 106.208. So he is looking to gain that extra point as well. Swazi with the DRS pulls up to the rear diffuser. And he's not going to get that run off the exit, but he does have the DRS. As now he's going to be looking to attempt a move up into Remus corner. Down to the inside, and he's not going to be able to outbrake the Aston Martin in front of him. As we jump on board with Natural trying to chase down Rocket Man. Rocket Man trying to put the pressure on Barstool Benny, but Barstool Benny is just finding that extra grip at this point in the Grand Prix on the fresher set of tires. Trackside here back undergoing, and Mr. Miller is also going to overtake the McLaren as well, so a 2 for 1. Well, 1 for, I don't know how to say it, 1 for 2, or yeah, 1 for 2. They're special for Miller and Trackside, and then Miller overtakes into turn 4. The booster here, half a second back. Natural now almost outside the second range, and Rocket Man finding the pace here to chase down Barstool Benny. He's within that 1 second range. Now they need to find a way to fight this one out, as it appears Barstool Benny is actually at 100% ERS, and he could probably run another fastest lap, break that DRS to the Aston Martin behind him, as Rocket Man was looking for a move down to the inside, but he does back out into the braking zone. The Boomster is not going to be able to try anything on the Mercedes in front of him. Them two have been fighting it out back and forth, lap after lap. Mr. Miller at peak hour, and now Trackside all up into turn 3 of Remus. Off the exit we go. DRS flaps are going to open for the cars behind. Peak hour versus Trackside now down into Schloss Gold. Trackside looking to the inside. Was not able to outbrake the Haas in front of him. Off the exit of 4. Now through 5, heading towards Rosh, Raptor, and Shiesty. Shiesty appeared to make a mistake, so Raptor up a spot. So now Shiesty needs to get rolling though, because here comes the Racing Bulls. Right behind him, Komakopa. The Boonster does go in for a pit stop and a front wing change. So now your race leaders have kind of opened up a little bit of a gap here. Komakopa back inside the top 5. Miller here around the outside as the Boonster's making an exit from pit lane. But the Boonster is actually going to try and fight him heading up the hill into turn 3 of Remus. He's not going to be able to make the move. Now the Boonster has the opportunity though to get that fastest lap here of the Grand Prix. He is going to go side by side with Miller down into Schloss Gold, and the Aston Martin really far down to the inside. Overtakes the Racing Bulls and up into P9. Bonnet is overtaking the McLaren. Actually, they're side by side, wrong view. And the McLaren is going to be able to fight on through back into P11, or P12, was able to defend off the Mercedes. Back up into Mr. Miller and the Booster fighting here for P8. Not much going on there as they're making their way towards turn 1. Rocket Man behind Barstool Benny. Barstool Benny just, how do you say this? Jay chilling at this point with 100% ERS. And not really fighting a whole lot with that car. He's kind of just cruise control. As we're making our way off the exit of Red Bull Mobile. The Booster here was able to overtake Shiesty. Shiesty gets out onto the gravel. He does have the Racing Bulls through the inside. And there goes Mr. Miller, but Mr. Miller has lost out on the DRS to the Aston Martin in front. And he's got to find a way to pull back within a second here. Rocket Man looking down to the inside of 4. He's not going to make that move. As Shiesty is within a second of Miller, but he is losing that time. He did make a mistake through Roch into Worth, but let's see how he does here on this lap. He's fallen outside the DRS range to Mr. Miller in front. The Boonster is catching up to Raptor KK back within the DRS range. The race leaders aren't doing a whole lot. Big mistake from Bonnet there off the exit of 3. He is going to drop one position. Rocket and Barstool Benny making their way down into the wonderful turn 4 Schlossgold. And then they're going to make their way off the exit of 5. Now into Roch on lap 30 we are. And Rocket Man starting to lose that pace that he once had to Barstool Benny. The tires are falling off at this point. Rocket Man has only made one stop on the hard tires. Was holding pace with the medium for a little bit. Now he's falling outside the DRS to the Williams in front. He also does have a time penalty on top of that as well. Komakopa inside the top 5. A good recovery drive from him after making a few mistakes earlier in the Grand Prix. Mr. Miller working his way, trying to slowly tick off some time on Raptor in front of him. Shiesty here in the Ferrari, 2.5 seconds back. jump on board here with the Racing Bulls of Milla as we're making our way towards turn 1 of Niki Lauda corner. Off the exit, DRS flap is going to open. Got a much better run than the Red Bull in front. Pulling right up to the rear diffuser, down to the inside, side by side, into the braking zone. Who's going to outbrake who? Off the exit of Remus, around the inside, Mr. Milla goes, and he will overtake into the P7 position, as Raptor was looking to try and catch up to him, but Milla did have the DRS there off of Remus down into turn 4. Jump on board with Raptor here, as this is the only battle all within a second. The rest of the field is pretty well separated here. The Red Bull ring comes out to bite some drivers. Penalty after penalty on the the virtual safety cars. You had a few drive-through penalties. A few individuals got 2 of them, so that did hinder their finishing results. Could have had a wonderful battle up at the front. And into Remus we go. Raptor is still within that DRS of the Racing Bulls. He, however, does not get a great run off of Remus heading into turn 4. And now he's outside the DRS range. Let's see here. We have some penalties on the circuit. So, see, closest peak hour is looking to slot himself inside the top 10. Fred, 3 seconds out from buying it here if he wants to get up into P12. Other than that, really not much going on. Raptor has to stay within 3 seconds of Mr. Milla. Milla has opened up nearly 2 seconds since the overtake. The Raptor is really actually steadily decreasing or losing time to Milla in front as they make their way up into Remus. Appeared to be a little tire slippage there from the Red Bull off of the exit of 3. We are on lap 34 off the exit of Niki Lauda corner. Barstool Benny making his way up into turn 3 of Remus. Mistake free from him today. No drive-through penalties. No track limit penalties. Although we still have a few laps to go, about 2.5 laps to go, he can still potentially make that one mistake. As now we're in through Roch of turn 6, heading into Worth Curve. Off the exit of Worth, now the penultimate corner of Rent, turn 8. And through the final corner of the Red Bull Mobile to begin the penultimate lap is the Williams. The biggest movers once again, Swazi up 7 positions, the Boonster up 6, Raptor up 8, a good result for him, starting P16, cracking the top 10. And buying it up 5 as we're making our way all the way down into turn 4. For the penultimate time, we got the Williams making a celebration victory laps. The final few laps keeps the car under control. Hopefully no tires are about to blow as he's making his way off the exit of turn 8 into Rent for the penultimate time. And now through the Red Bull Mobile to begin the final lap of the Grand Prix. As we're going to head up the hill towards Remus for the last time. And Barstool Benny, along with Rocketman, have, since they joined into the Pro Tier, they have taken the level to, or taken the game to another level in regards to pace. Maybe in 2 more days, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the trailer to F1 2025. Hoping it's going to be somewhat decent. But into the penultimate time, or penultimate corner for the final time. Now through the Red Bull Mobile and heading down the start-finish straight. For the final time, Barstool Benny is going to win here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria with Rocketman MP2. Natural making his way around the final few corners. And he's going to head across the line. Swazi makes his way to the line. Komakopa off the exit of the final corner. Cracks his top 5. Should be happy with that result. The Boonster as well. Mr. Miller was putting some pressure on towards the end. Raptor will be right behind him. And then Shiesty, along with Trackside, to the line as well. And your final car that needs to cross the checkered flag is going to be the Haas of Peak Hour. So there you have it, folks. That is going to be your CCRL Pro Tier here, round 11 at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. Next week, I believe they will be heading on to Coda in Austin, Texas. Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. I am the Johnny Damon. Once again, I hope you all had a pleasure watching this, or all enjoyed watching this Grand Prix tonight. Those are your final results for the final time. In the meantime, we will see you all next week at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. I hope you all have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good one.